Is dairy silently ruining your hormones and skin without you even knowing it? Today we'll be looking at the science behind dairy, acne and bloating, whether it's time to ditch that Greek yogurt. For those of you new to my channel, my name is Sruthi. I'm a nutritionist and health and wellness coach, also founder of a platform called Nourished, which provides tailored and generalized nutrition advice and health and wellness coaching. And as always, this video is also for general educational purposes only. It is not direct advice on whether to consume dairy or not. Let's dive right in. Why does dairy get blamed? So dairy gets blamed because it has a hormone called IGF-1, which can increase sebum, aka increasing acne. And another reason is that dairy comes from cows, which are pregnant. And so when cows are pregnant, they secrete hormones. As a result, these hormones then get passed on to humans. And the other thing is, especially in recent days, there's been a lot of cases where cows in various countries are injected with synthetic hormones to produce more milk for human consumption. And as a result, there have been some cases where the hormones have caused developmental issues with child growth especially. And so there have been a lot of people who have stop their children from consuming dairy because it has been tampered with in a way. Another reason is that dairy can cause insulin spikes, increasing blood sugar levels, can also cause inflammation. And another one is dairy protein. So whey, for example, whey casein can cause some gut distress for people. I myself have had issues when it comes to dairy or even whey protein concentrate. It used to cause a lot of acne for me and also stomach discomfort. But when I switched to isolate, whey protein isolate was a bit different, but obviously varies from person to person. Acne, bloating, and PMS. What's the link? There have been some studies done, especially looking at skim milk and acne. For example, there was a meta-analysis published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition that showed that people with the highest level of dairy intake were almost 2 to 5 times more likely to develop acne compared to people that didn't. And when it was skim milk that was being looked at, the incidence almost doubled compared to regular dairy. And so this shows a close relationship between quantity and the likelihood of acne when it comes to dairy and acne. Then you have some people who, when they consume dairy during the PMS phase of their cycle, they see an increase in breakouts. And of course, there's also the dairy intolerance arm, where you see symptoms like bloating or irregular bowel movements, things like that. And then ultimately, there's always the gut-skin hormone connection, where when your gut isn't feeling okay, your skin isn't feeling okay, and vice versa. So that's why dairy tends to get a lot of hate in this region. Is all dairy bad then? The answer to this is that there are some options. So firstly, you have full fat fermented dairy like kefir, for example, which is often better tolerated. And then you have the whole grass-fed organic option, which usually have no to fewer hormones added, which as a result mean no to fewer hormones get passed on to us. And I know this conversation is quite heavily debated, the whole grass-fed organic versus non-organic. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And ultimately, there are some people who have absolutely no problem with dairy. They thrive on it. They love it. It's amazing. So it just comes down to personal preference and ability to process something. So some people can consume it, some people can't. It's just what feels right for you. And if you've been following my channel for a while, you would know that I'm a big supporter of intuitive eating. So listening to your body and knowing what feels right, not just, like for example, if you know you're dairy intolerant, but your parents or family or whatever says that you have to eat dairy, it does not mean you have to. Like if you genuinely feel horrible and you know you're intolerant or can't eat it, then don't. So it's not about forcing yourself. It's about understanding what works for you. So to answer the question from the very beginning, what should you do about dairy? The first thing you can do if you suspect an intolerance or sensitivity, you can try removing dairy for 2 to 3 weeks from your diet. And then after that, try slowly reintroducing it. So start with something easily digestible like yogurt, for example, and then see how you feel. If it's all back to normal, sunshine and rainbows, great, you can eat it. But if not, then there's no reason to fear because there's plenty of great alternatives There's like oat milk, coconut yogurt, soy milk. There's so many different options. And so it's just about seeing what works for you, as I mentioned before. And yeah, dairy is not the devil. It is great for some people and it's not so much for other people, which is completely fine. It's just about seeing what works for you and also making sure to check where your dairy comes from. Like for example, if I'm going to consume yogurt, Greek yogurt, for example, I will make sure that the sources are organic and they are non-hormone added, as much as I can tell from not being on a farm. So it's just important to have all the information before you do anything, whether you eat or don't eat. And yeah, if you enjoy this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Any questions, queries, comments, let me know in the comments below. And wishing you a happy digestive systems until the next one.